42. It's pretty great thing for me.
Have them now. Turn me up.
Tom, what are your initial
Turn
reactions?
Turn it up.
Feel like you earned an extension, Tom?
Have I earned it? I don't know. You guys, that's up for talk show debate. What do you guys think? Should we take a poll?
Sure.
All right. Talk to Mr. Kraft. Come on. No, like I said, we got a great relationship, so we'll see how it goes.
We haven't really heard Tom talk about this contract at minicamp over the offseason after he won his 6th Super Bowl for the team after being tremendous as a player, taking a hometown discount since the year 2000. He's turning 42.
Yeah.
Nate, I know we have to consider that. There's also a salary cap to consider. But this doesn't seem that difficult of a situation for me. I say pay the man.
100% pay the man. I remember playing in Seattle with Sean Alexander, and he had a great run as a Seattle Seahawk. He led the NFL in rushing, so he held the rushing title. They paid him at the end of his career, and it was more for what he did, not what he was going to do, because at that time I think he had saw the light at the end of the tunnel. Tom Brady, it's a little bit different. Even at his age, he's still playing at a high level. So it's not like you're paying him for his resume. You're paying him for what he's going to do in the future, which is probably get his team to another Super Bowl.
Yeah, and that's a good segue to our guest right now because Tom Brady's in the division with him. Joining us now is a man who led his team to its first playoff appearance in nearly 20 years. Fans are clamoring for another Super Bowl appearance and maybe their first Super Bowl title. This might be the man who can bring it to them. Please welcome in from Bills training camp, head coach Sean McDermott.
Yo! What's up, Coach?
Coach, how we doing? We're setting up the talk here all about Brady, and I'm going to get right into it. I know you're doing team goals and you're doing individual goals, but the Patriots have dominated the AFC East over the past 2 decades. Let's get right to it. Is that a conversation you guys are having? Is that the ultimate goal for the Buffalo Bills this season, to finally knock off Tom Brady and Bill Belichick? Or are you guys just taking it week to week and seeing where things end up?
Well, I think that's a question every head coach in the AFC East gets asked, right? And listen, we've got to focus on what we're doing. We certainly respect and have a great deal of respect for what they've done there and how they've gone about their business. But, really, we've got to focus on what we're trying to get done and how we're trying to grow as a football team.
All right, Coach, this is your 3rd training camp with the Bills. Now, as a player, we love that positive reinforcement. Even though this is early in training camp, is there something that you're pleased about right now with your players?
There is. We go away to training camp, I believe, to come together as a football team. And what you're able to see early on is the chemistry and the camaraderie amongst the guys, not only on the field, but off the field and some of the gaps in our schedule where they're playing cards, getting to know one another, hanging out, encouraging one another. So that's been good to see.
I love that. It's the stuff that the cameras maybe don't pick up out there at training camp. And what the cameras here on Good Morning Football don't pick up is that we have a green room where we talk and hang out and eat snacks and bagels before the show. And a lot of the time we debate, arguments, if you will. Who can do this? Oh, we have these debates that, sports lovers have. And one of them surrounds your quarterback, who we love, in Josh Allen. So you have to set us straight here so we don't argue about this anymore. Can you tell me how far Josh Allen can throw a ball? I mean, is it 100 yards?
All I care about really is that he's throwing the ball accurately. I know there's a big debate out there and this, with the strength of his arm and the debate against Patrick Mahomes, great quarterback in and of himself. But the key right now is for Josh to develop and continue to grow in our offense. And the thing about it is he's got that growth mindset. He loves to learn, loves to grow, loves to compete.
Coach, can he throw it 100 yards?
I believe he can. We've got a couple 100-yard routes. Make sure you tell all of our opponents out there. We've got a couple 100-yard route combinations out there, probably that we stole from Nate years ago.
Okay, good. Good. I'm sure. We're going to send that up to Foxborough right now. Coach, we're all big fans of the 1980s animated program, The Smurfs. Brainy Smurf, Hefty Smurf, certainly Smurfette. You recently called your wide receiving core the Smurfs. There we are. So can you explain to our viewers what you mean, why your receivers are the Smurfs, and who are the Buffalo Bills? Who's their Gargamel?
Wow. Well, you know what? I was out of practice the other day, and I'm watching all of our, these 5'8" or less little guys run around and zigzag, and the Smurfs, for many of those that don't know, is a little village of blue guys that used to run around underneath mushrooms, and or they grew up in mushroom houses, I think, years ago. And when you look at Cole Beasley, John Brown, and a couple of the other guys we've got, I think they'd fit right in with the Smurfs. And I don't know who Gargamel would be, but, I think Cole certainly fits jokey Smurf. He's got all the jokes, loves to talk, and these guys have great personalities. And so, they're a great addition to our team, and I think it builds chemistry, and the guys they kind of joked at me the next day when they saw what hit the papers, and that's all good. It's all good for our chemistry here in Buffalo.
Now, speaking of running around, Josh Allen, he was honored a few months ago by Good Morning Football. He won the GMFB's Play of the Year for his hurdle over Anthony Barr last year, one of our favorite plays in the season. And he also won the Angry Run Award, courtesy of Kyle Brandt. Now, I would ask you, how proud are you of these achievements, but I kind of want to ask you a serious question. Is that part of the game plan this year to use his legs? Because he is one of the more athletic quarterbacks in the game.
Yeah, it certainly is a layer to our playbook, and that can be that can be deemed really a play in and of itself is our quarterback scramble and the ability to scramble. Being a defensive coach coming up, I know how important that is, that we can that we have to defend on the defensive side quarterbacks that can move, mobile quarterbacks, and I think you're seeing more of that as the game evolves. But we sent Josh to training camp with one of the baseball teams this spring, and he learned how to slide, and we hope to incorporate that into his arsenal also this season.
Awesome stuff. Inside Training Camp Live, presented by State Farm, continues today at 10 a.m. featuring the Buffalo Bills. Coach McDermott, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck this season.
Thanks for having us on this morning, guys.
Of course.
Go Bills.
He'll be on. Josh Allen will be on, and he can throw 100 yards.
He said it very clear. Adam Gase has said his team is known as the Snorks. That's the Snorks versus
underwater.
That's exactly.
I remember.
And the Gargamel guys, he didn't answer. It's a hooded sweatshirt. He's been to 3 straight Super Bowls, and he plays in Foxborough. And Coach, yes, that's the Gargamel.
I'm gonna have to Google that one.
Sure.
We do a lot of talking on the show about what Zeke is worth. I want you to show me the money. Show me, Nate, why he deserves this money.
I'll break it down for you, Kay. I got you in a burl lesson.
All right, breaking down the tape of Zeke, his best of. And what songs did Daniel Jones choose to sing? He picked these, like at a jukebox or at a karaoke bar, to sing at his rookie initiation. Okay. Haircut.